you could give a copy of this to 10 different lawyers and probably get 10 different interpretations of it. And like I say, the one that's currently going through the Senate is 2.5 times this size. And now that they voted to start debate, they will be adding amendments to it. So it will.
So what you're trying to tell me
even.
that 2.5 times this is going to even you're saying you're trying to give me this whack talk that you even think that the bill coming out of the Senate might even be larger?
Yes.
Simple answer. All right, so we've got the constitutional out of the way, and to me it sounds pretty cut and dry. But what if, say, since we're here in Nebraska, what if Nebraska won it and it went through the unicameral? We've only got one house in Nebraska. What if it went through and it was passed? Would you have a problem with that?
If it went through here in Nebraska?
Yeah.
You know, I guess I personally don't believe it's the government's job to provide health insurance for everybody. However, if the state of Nebraska were to do that, I would work against it, but if it passed, oh well.
The will of the people prevails.
Yeah, it's the will of the, yeah, exactly. The will of the people prevails, and it would be passed the right way. That would be a constitutional act.
Okay, all right, fine. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, we've gone from, go ahead, what do you got?
Just to interrupt you real quick.
Again?
Yeah. This is the beauty of the 10th Amendment. Because if it wasn't the federal government doing this, and if it were states doing it, how much easier is it for you as a Nebraska resident to be an active participant in the debate?
Oh, it's quite easy.
You know, we can go down to the state capitol, even if you live in western Nebraska, you can still make the trip to Lincoln, you know, to have your voice heard.
Well, and also, here's another thing that you might not have considered, Patrick, because I've done it. I've tried to call Senator Nelson. I've tried to call Senator Johans, and here in the Lincoln area, Representative Fortenberry. I'm sure that you probably called all three offices. How many times did you get any of those three gentlemen on the phone?
You're kidding, right?
The estimate you keep hearing from the talking heads on TV. Wait a minute, I am a talking head. Ooh. Anyway, the estimate cost of health care is coming in from the Senate version that just came out on the 21st of November. Came out at $849 billion. You know, I don't know about you, but I really can't get my head wrapped around $849 billion. Now, I've had a couple $1,000s of cash in my hands. And of course, I was drooling, because that's a lot of money to me. I bet it's a lot of money to you. But $849 billion, is that a realistic number, Patrick?
Absolutely not.
Because?
Well, first off, the way they arrive at that number is completely disingenuous. Because
politicians disingenuous? Whoa, there's a news flash.
Yeah, that $849 billion they're talking about, you know, covers the first, 10 years. And it only comes in at $849 billion.
You notice he said only?
Yeah, it only comes in at $849 billion because we start paying in immediately.
If it's passed tomorrow.
Yeah, if it's passed tomorrow or whatever and President Obama signs it, we start paying in immediately, but none of us will get any of the benefits of it until at least 2013.
So 4 years from now.
Yeah. So you have 4 years of payments going in there, and that's what skews that $849 billion mark. And I would just say, I mean, anyone watching this knows the government estimates are never accurate. They almost invariably, come in at a much greater number than the estimates ever were.
Do you think any government program has ever come under or on budget?
I can't say that there's never been one, but
Let's ask for some help. If anybody out there, if anybody out there knows of any government-run program that has either come on budget or under budget, let's be magnanimous, Patrick, within 10% either way of their budget, drop us a line. Drop us a line on GML-TV.com.
WordPress.com. GML-TV.
Drop us a line, if you would. All right, Patrick, let's move on. What are the results going to be? What are the results going to be if this health care bill comes out of the Senate, it goes into the committee, both the joint House-Senate committee, they bang out language, they promise each other a $100 million project for your home state like they did to the senator in Louisiana. All right, it all gets done, it all gets passed. What do you think the results are going to be?
You know, this is just a simple example of, as government expands, liberty contracts. The thought that we now could live in a country where you can be thrown in jail for not buying health insurance, you know, it's a scary thought.
Whoa, wait a minute. Now, come on. The people out there aren't going to believe that. The House bill or the Senate bill that actually has that penalty involved in it?
Yep. It actually was in the House version that passed, and will be going to the joint committee if the Senate passes their version. And Nancy Pelosi didn't seem to have any problem with it. She was asked about it and thought that it was fair.
So you're kind of saying it's a good news, bad news type of thing, in that if you don't buy, the bad news is if you don't buy health insurance, you're going to jail. The good news is you get free health care in jail. Is that about right?
Yeah, pretty much. What they do with this is they, if you don't purchase health insurance, then you know, it isn't just a simple fine that they get, it's a tax penalty. It's their way to sick the IRS on you.
Ah.
After all, wasn't it the IRS, the way they actually caught Al Capone?
That's right.
So they sick the IRS on you, and it's a tax penalty. Then if you don't pay the tax penalty, you can be jailed for up to 5 years.
The boss, but we're going to wrap this up. Again, anything that you've heard on Give Me Liberty TV, please, whether it be positive or negative, even if you have ideas on what we can do as a show, here's the boss. This is Patrick Talk. I'm W.A. Mitchell. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.